Welcome to this edition of Hindsight is Horrifying, the show where two mostly normal and somewhat cynical adults discuss life as members of the TV generation. Now, here are your hosts, Darth Jada and Jason Mitchell.
Are we cynical or are we jaded?
I think at this point, you know, with the quarantine, with the quarantine and everything else, it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, who cares?
It's the whole world.
You're the
cynical.
only other human being I actually see throughout the week. So
yeah, other than family,
I'm just happy to be here.
yeah.
God. So that's we're in week 7,048th of quarantine.
We've gone so long since the old days.
Yeah, I've forgotten.
We got paper towel. we found Bounty paper towel. I almost cried.
Quicker picker upper.
I got tears in my eyes and I just hugged it.
Well, it's quilty and soft, so
Yes,
it's
yes.
nice and huggable, so
Yes.
that works. God.
Well,
So
listeners,
that's where we're at.
Yes, listeners, we are of course back, and
As we promised.
we're not just back. We are we're here with a very special movie.
Yes, indeed. So let's introduce our guests for the evening.
Yes.
So first of all, we've got the guest that we just can't effing get rid of. That would be Mr. Brown over in his bunker. Say hi, Mr. Brown.
Here. Hello, everyone. Hello, viewing audience.
Oh my
Hello.
goodness.
Looking
Darth
sharp.
Vader and Jason, and I can't see Jason. He's off. He's off the
Am I
screen.
off the screen?
I
a
think
little
you're
bit?
off screen for them, but
Okay.
the camera's got you, but they can't see you. They can just hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah, there. I'll wait.
I see your hand touching yourself.
That wasn't my hand.
Ew.
Oh,
I don't know what else it would have been, but
I was going to say, I don't even know what to do with that bit. So
speaking of bad humor,
ass. We have another guest. You know him, you love him. It's, the other guest we can't get rid of. It's the other Adam. So say hi, other Adam.
Young Adam here to chime in this episode. How are you this evening? All righty, man.
How were we
I'm
not
out.
expecting that?
I'm out.
No, you knew that
Nope,
was
nope. You got have fun, guys.
I just love that all three of us in the studio, well, not in the studio, but our two virtual participants, they dressed up. Jason couldn't be bothered, hindsighters, because he doesn't give two figs about this show. Not two figs.
Look, it's court ordered. I do what I have to do.
Oh, did they confiscate all of your costumes during
Yeah.
your... Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I forgot about that. Sorry.
This is actually my official Ace Ventura costume that I used for Halloween like years ago.
Yes, and we have an interesting story about that, which we can get around to in a moment, hindsighters.
Yep.
But since you've already introduced the movie, what are we watching tonight, young Adam?
we are watching a movie starring a young Jim Carrey, a young Courtney Cox, and a batshit crazy Sean Young.
Yeah, poor Sean Young.
Because she was always batshit crazy.
She went,
Yeah, and especially so at this particular time. Although she might be crazier now. I don't know.
there's no telling.
Good casting.
Yeah, very good casting.
Yes.
But yes, young Adam, why don't you tell the ladies and gentlemen what we are watching tonight?
Mm-hmm.
This particular cinematic masterpiece revolves around an eccentric, very high-fashioned pet detective. He's a sort of a private detective, also works with the police, but he specifically specializes in solving cases related to house pets and the animal kingdom.
Yes.
This is the launching pad for Jim Carrey's career. This was his first real big starring film.
Yeah, this was
And
before
it's a
Jim Carrey had
masterpiece,
worn out his
and
welcome.
Here we go.
Shut up, Jason. Some of us in the virtual room really love Jim Carrey, so and you're within smacking distance, unlike Mr. Brown. So watch yourself.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
But yeah, so listeners, hindsighters, we are watching Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, the original, and to give you the original, which is from all the way back in 1994. So, young Adam, weren't you a fetus back then?
I was an entire fetus in 1994.
Yeah. Because I was relatively young in 1994 myself, so I can only imagine that you were even younger. It's crazy.
So this was 1994 was the year of Jim Carrey. This was the year in which three of his most iconic comedies were all released in the same year, that being Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would go out on a limb and say that my favorite of those is Dumb and Dumber. At least as far as the one that actually still makes me laugh.
See, Dumb and Dumber would be my least favorite of those three.
I can see that. I mean, I'm not saying, yeah. The Mask is
probably my favorite of the three.
Yeah, The Mask is my least favorite of the three.
Bite your tongue.
Yeah,
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. I've just got a list of people to smack once quarantine is over. That's what I've got.
You would be a great dictator.
I would. I most certainly would.
Yes. Darth
Here's the thing, though,
Il Duce
Dumb and
Jader.
Dumber was made for like little boys, so I was the prime demographic.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? That now that I think about that in that light, it makes more sense.
And it was 94.
Yes, this was.
So
they all came out in 94.
I was 15. Yeah.
There you go. I would have been.
Now I have grown and evolved with this film. When it first came out, I felt a kinship with Jim Carrey, but then rewatching it now, I feel more closely related to his landlord. Yes, the rent is late.
Yeah.
Which is, he's actually a pretty iconic character actor. He's in Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
He's
yeah.
Scarface, Requiem for a Dream.
He's Hector in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he's Hector in Breaking Bad, where all he can do is ring a bell to communicate. So I'm sorry, Mr. Brown, if that's how you're feeling these days.
And the character, his name is
Mr. Shikadance.
Yeah, who Jim Carrey grew up when he was younger. He lived in an apartment, and apparently that
in
was
Toronto, Canada. Yeah. Yes, and that was the name of the complex. It was named after. They named it after that apartment complex. Yes, and because Shady Acres, the mental asylum that they What?
I can only ring a bell when I speak. I have to put this thing to my throat now.
Are you making fun of me? Stop making fun of me.
That's so robotic. And then Shady Acres, because I confused them for a second, because the mental asylum where Jim Carrey shows up later in the movie, that was named after Shadyac, the director. So you had two different instances of naming things.
Shadyac, who tragically is still alive.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's sad.
Jesus.
So he did 3 iconic films with Jim Carrey. He did Ace Ventura, Liar Liar, and Bruce Almighty.
He sure did.
Yeah, so
I don't know that I would call Bruce Almighty iconic. Liar Liar for sure, especially since my love Carrie Elways is in it.
Did Bruce Almighty, did it have Morgan Freeman as God?
Yes, that was the one where Morgan Freeman was God.
Yeah.
Well, Bruce Almighty is a masterpiece.
Well, you've called almost every movie that you've elected so far a masterpiece, young Adam, and with your naivete, we're just not sure about you.
That's because Jim Carrey is the greatest cinematic comedian of all time.
There you go. Somebody who loves Jim as much as I do.
I'd put Robin Williams ahead of him.
Well, okay.
Robin Williams is better.
Robin Williams was better at drama.
They're both good at drama. I don't know. I think
he's better at drama than Jim Carrey is.
I think they're both really talented in both categories. So whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Carrey's drama, Man on the Moon was incredible.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Uh-huh. I'm trying to make Jason think of the movies. No, because I know them.
Dramatic ones, though. Dramatic Jim Carrey movies.
Yeah.
The Truman Show.
Come on. You got to know some of them.
Yeah, The Truman Show was...
The Truman Show was good.
It was good. It was good.
I just want to make sure that you're not mixing him up with Robin Williams, kind of like your Christian Slater, Kevin Bacon syndrome that you've got going on. So, anyway, you have, he's had a lot of iconic roles and not just funny ones, but Darby's right about this. This was his launching pad.
He made out with Matt Damon. I mean, he's got that going for him.
I had to bring that.
I'm just saying. I've never made out with Matt Damon, so
I would love to make out with Matt Damon.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'd be in for that. But so
every time I watch Born Identity, that's what I want to do.
Is that Courtney Cox?
Oh yeah,
the hottest
early
90s woman.
Monica.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So this movie came out right when Friends was starting up, right?
I think so, yeah.
Friends came out, yes, I believe in 94 and ended in 2004 because it was on for exactly 10 years, 10 seasons.
This was not only the year of Jim Carrey, this was the year of Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
It was.
And I can say as a 15-year-old boy, the highlight of the movie was Courtney Cox. She was about the hottest thing going.
The outfits they put her in, I mean, sure, why not?
Courtney Cox is just gorgeous.
No, she's a beautiful woman and absolutely indisputable. But it's funny because back in the 90s, everybody had that argument going on between who was hotter, Rachel or Monica.
And easy.
Well, you've
Easy.
even mentioned this before, Jason, because you said Monica would have been your choice back in the day, but now it would be
Rachel.
Lisa Kudrow. For Jason, he said he flip-flopped.
Did I say that?
You did. On a past episode, you said, because
Doesn't
I
sound
think
like me.
it was more personality-based as opposed to how the women looked. So maybe that has something
She's
to
more
do with it.
intellectually stimulating.
Yeah.
The Kudrow.
Yeah, us
Hey, she's
nerdy
Kimmy
girls.
Schmidt's mom.
Jennifer Aniston wins every time.
She is Kimmy Schmidt's mom.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston. Okay. All right.
Never a big Jen fan. I was definitely much more in the Courtney Cox.
She was the typical hot girl back
Yeah.
in the 90s, and I can't see
Yeah.
you getting along with a girl like that. But let's hit the synopsis really quickly, because Darby sort of gave us one. He described who Ace Ventura is, but the synopsis of the movie is: when the Dolphin mascot of Miami's NFL team is abducted, Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey, a zany private investigator who specializes
Go
in
Cubans.
finding missing animals, looks into the case. Soon, Miami Dolphins players are kidnapped too, including star player Dan Marino, played by Dan Marino. Somehow they felt the need to put that in parentheticals.
In his slingshot briefs.
Oh God, his isotoners, I
Yes,
think,
his
is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Making
Dan Marino shilled for a lot of things.
making
Dan Marino kicked off his acting career with this film.
Yes.
which was a long-lived. Oh
What-
wait,
I was
no,
about to say, what was
no,
it followed
wasn't.
by?
It wasn't anything.
One film run, but it was a winner.
Oh yeah. There
All
you
right,
go.
I'm going to finish the synopsis. Hang on. So, making Ace's sleuth work even more pressing. Working with Dolphins representative Melissa Robinson, Courtney Cox, Ace closes in on the culprits, but not before many ridiculous misadventures.
When
so,
pantsuits rule the world.
my God, she is 80s woman. Lieutenant Einhorn, it hurts. Like,
Einhorn.
they put Courtney Cox in all the sundresses. Like that, every sundress that any woman ever wore in the 90s, that's what Courtney Cox wore.
I'm going to make a bold statement here.
Oh, really? Never.
Out of all the eras of women's fashion, my favorite, the 90s.
I loved the 90s, personally.
I love it. I mean, you can go back and watch 90s TV shows, not Seinfeld, because Julia Louis-Dreyfus dressed like a farmer for like the first like 4 seasons.
Yeah, what was with Elaine's fashion in that show?
It was not great.
They tried to make
It
her
was not great,
quirky
yeah.
on purpose, and they went a little too far with it, in my opinion, too.
News radio, Maura Tierney. Oh my God. Just the best. Yeah. No, and, you know, I mean, so yeah, my
Christina
favorite.
Applegate on Married with Children.
Yes.
You mean braless Christina Applegate? Imagine why you guys must have liked that fashion.
You mean Christina Applegate?
Just in general.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
she's
It's a
one of the
winning era right there.
She's one of the prettiest ladies I've ever seen. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I can agree with you guys on that. But okay, so we got to look at this sort of pompadour type of hair.
How has he not been beaten up? How has no one just beaten
He gets
the
beaten up in this
crap?
movie.
No, I mean in real life.
What is wrong with you? Jim, I love you. I know you're tuning in, and we follow you on Instagram despite Jason's protestations, so don't worry about it. Deal
Do
with
we?
it. Yes, we do.
Oh, damn.
So deal with that. Anyway,
He's the master of physical humor.
yeah,
He really is.
that's part of his genius in the mask, because we did do that as an
We
episode.
did, yes.
So
that
this
was
is
a long time ago.
that was our. That,
Do you realize how many episodes of this
We've been
stupid
doing
show
it-
we've done?
We've been doing this shit for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no,
Yeah.
more than 2 years,
More.
because we've known Mr. Brown now for almost 2 years.
Yes.
So, oh man, wow.
Yeah, and in the
Time does
90s, if
fly.
you needed like a zany, crazy dude, Jim Carrey was your man.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that was part of the reason why he was such a good fit for the mask. They actually were able to forego a lot of the CGI that they were planning on budgeting for, because Jim, he's rubber face. Like, he
Yeah,
can
he just
contort
did it
his
himself.
face. Yeah, and he could do so many
Well,
things.
by the time they got to movies like Liar Liar,
Oh God, I love this bit. I'm sorry, but I've got to interrupt you, Jason, because okay, so we're at the
Best
point.
scene of the movie.
I don't know about best, because there are 3 bits that I remember from this, because Jason, if you recall,
is this the Star Trek bit?
yes.
Yeah.
So, Snowflake the dolphin, I got interrupted about 40 times during the synopsis. So, Snowflake the dolphin, the mascot of the Miami Dolphins football team, is missing. He's been kidnapped, and now Jim is on the case to find her. Or Ace Ventura is on the case to find her, him, whatever. And he's in the tank, and he flips open his phone or whatever that is. Is it a notepad
It's
or
his glasses.
It's sunglasses.
Oh, it's his sunglasses. Okay. And he's doing the Captain's Log.
But here's the thing, though.
great.
Here's the thing. If you want to feel old, though, if you showed this to a kid today, they would have no clue what he was doing in this bit.
Yeah, I think I'm on the cusp of that, honestly,
Yeah.
because
Here's the
you've got
thing.
McCoy. Go ahead.
Oh, here's the thing. When I was a kid, I had no idea what he was referencing because I didn't watch Star Trek, but I still thought it was hilarious.
It's funny just
And
because
how much of this do you think was scripted, or it just let him loose?
Well, see, that's
talked
what
about that
that's what I
before.
wanted to talk about. By the time they got up to doing the one that stands
Liar,
out to me is
Liar.
Liar Liar, where in the script it literally said in the script, instead of having dialogue written, it just said Jim does his thing.
Yep.
That's the thing about
with the
this
same
movie.
director, I think that's how they afforded that because
Yeah.
Jim was actually one of the writers of this script as well. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was him and Odenkirk.
It was three.
The guy
there
who
were
did,
three people on it actually. I've got to find it in my.
The guy who
notes.
did Kung Pao, which is one of my all-time favorites.
I've got to find it in my rabbit hole. Notes.
Oh, Steve Odenkirk.
Steve Odenkirk, yeah. Kung Pao.
He directed the second Ace Ventura movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Kung Pao is one of my favorite movies about
Oh my
a
God.
talking tongue. It's so good.
Well, and
Yeah, your shirt is red.
Well, and even the story behind Shadyac himself, the director, he was the youngest writer that Bob Hope had on.
Really?
Yes.
He wrote for Bob Hope?
Yes.
Oh.
So the director of this movie, he was Bob Hope's youngest ever joke writer, and he directed the film despite his
That's
inexperience.
wild. Okay, everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're at the scene where Ace walks in doing his famous walk.
Yeah.
Fun fact, he based that entirely off of the movements of a bird.
He did his whole look off of just being a bird, and there's actually a tie to Anthony Hopkins and Hannibal because of that, because even the hair that he's got, the brightly colored shirts, everything about his whole look and how he bobs his head and his sudden movements and stuff,
Someone
it's
has
all
hard
based on a
candy.
bird.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Anthony Hopkins, because there's a story that Jim Carrey told on Inside the Actors Studio where he had dinner with Anthony Hopkins and they discussed this, but
I miss that show.
I do too. Poor
Great
James.
Joe.
R.I.P.
Ray Liotta said you have very soft hair. Please explain.
But before I get derailed from this story, so Jim Carrey had dinner with Anthony Hopkins where he found out that Anthony Hopkins had a similar method for Hannibal, except he based him on lizards and reptiles.
yeah.
And so he even went into character
And
while
Funky
he was...
Cool Medina.
Oh, I was going to bring up Tone Lock. Damn it. You beat me to it.
Oh, lock.
Oh, so 90s. So
Oh,
90s.
if you don't love Tone Loc,
Yeah, I
kid
always
here
call him
just got
Tone Lock because
Tone
I'd
Loc
never
kid?
pronounce it right. Sorry.
Loc.
And here we go. The iconic ass bit, gentlemen. So do we know where that came from?
Come
Does
on,
anybody know?
iconic ass bit.
Yeah.
You just
I would
said
like to ask you a few questions.
See?
iconic ass bit.
Okay, so let me go
That's where we're at.
because
That's how far
The
we've
ass
come.
scene.
Help me out, Mr. Brown.
It's iconic, I guess. Oh, and I didn't think about it until you mentioned it, Jason. The word einhorn, is there a hidden meaning in that?
It means it's German for unicorn, which if you're one of them types, that's a phallic animal. So
Yes.
they named her that to hint at the fact that she has a penis.
So here's the thing about this movie. I can't picture it with any
believe
other
you.
actor.
you what?
I literally cannot picture this movie actually being made with another actor in the role.
Except, do
No,
you know who the
no.
original person was that they wanted?
Go ahead.
So
Tell us.
the movie started off as kind of an idea of a shticky, doofier version of Sherlock Holmes.
And not an animal thing either.
Yeah, it had nothing to
yeah,
do with
nothing to do
animals.
with
That
animals,
also
yeah.
changed. So the original actor
Wow.
that they wanted was Rick Moranis
Yeah. and-
What?
as Ace Ventura.
No, do you know
Yeah,
who
no
else they
kidding.
considered for the part?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes, that's true. Whoopi Goldberg and this is the one that I can't conceive of, Alan Rickman.
Tell me the story.
No,
No, I don't know this story.
No,
Tell me
that-
this
that-
story.
I want to see this movie.
I do too.
yeah.
God.
I'll get you, Mr. Snowflake.
Snowflake.
All
sorry.
righty then.
I'm so. God, that would have been. Oh, that's just a whole different universe.
Yes, that
that's
would
some
have
Rick
been
and Morty level shit
yes,
right
that,
there. That's
that
a
would have
whole
been
different-
drop some acid and
Everyone
watch
here
Alan
is Eric Stoltz mask Mortys.
Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite line of the movie. Hey, maybe I'll give you a call sometime. Your number's still 911. Alrighty then.
He almost synced up perfectly with that.
That
My
was pretty
God, that
scary.
was well done.
Sean Young's really good looking. I mean, she's just beautiful.
unfortunately-
I just wish he wasn't batshit crazy.
Okay, so I don't know this about Sean Young. What's up with her? Why
Oh
is
my God.
What'd
Yeah,
she
give
do?
us an example,
skinny.
Jason. I think this is
Well-
important.
Is that the chick from Blade Runner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
she's
my God, yeah, that is her. I
Blade
just-
Runner and David Lynch's Dune.
Dune.
Holy
Yeah,
crap,
damn.
that is her.
Tell me
That's
if you're-
another episode,
I've
right?
never-
Tell me if you're homeworld, Usul. I could quote that entire movie.
We know
backwards-
because the love of
backwards
your
and
life,
forward.
Kyle MacLachlan, is in it.
I love Kyle MacLachlan.
I know you do.
I want to have his babies.
Tell us about Sean Young. God,
No,
you weird ass.
Sean Young. She was originally cast as the character that Kim Basinger played in the 1989 Batman, Vicky Vale.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if she backed out or if they changed their mind. But she lobbied so hard to be Catwoman in Batman Returns, up to the point of making a Catwoman costume and like appearing on TV dressed as Catwoman. And apparently she sort of deluded herself into thinking that she just got the role.
That makes me wonder about.
Oh
That's-
no!
Yeah, it was pretty sad.
That makes me wonder about Lindsay Lohan because she's been lobbying to be Ariel in the live action
Ugh.
Little Mermaid.
Ugh.
And no, Mateo Lane, one of my favorite comedians, he goes, "Oh, I didn't realize that mermaids could smoke
Yeah,
underwater."
I was about to say a cigarette joke,
That was
actually.
so
Yeah.
great. But
I'm going
just-
back to like 2004 when Mean Girls came out.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Back
yeah,
then.
maybe
yes.
back then, but now she's no.
Sean Young was in another movie that is a comedy that nobody remembers, but I think it's an unappreciated comedy.
Do tell.
Fatal Instinct. See, no one's ever
I
heard of
never
it.
saw that.
Yeah,
Fatal Instinct.
Fatal Instinct.
Oh, I'm thinking Fatal Attraction.
No,
I was
it-
like, how is that a comedy?
It was.
That's playing close.
Yeah, it was. It was.
God.
Yeah, it was a spoof of Fatal Attraction.
Yeah, I've never heard of
and like it was a crime movie spoof with Armando Sante as the.
Oh
lead.
wait, it's a mixture of Fatal Attraction and Basic Instinct.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, it's a great movie. It's hilarious.
Somehow he knows about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and I've got to ask you, gentlemen. So first of all, Jim Carrey, did y'all realize that he lobbied to have that heavy metal band put in this
Cannibal
movie?
Corpse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cannibal Corpse.
Yes.
It was one of his favorite bands.
And they originally had to turn him down because they had like European tours scheduled or something like that. But then everything got rearranged, and so they appeared in the movie. But I don't understand I don't understand a lot of things about this scenario. So he goes to meet his friend who's
NEC
a professional.
Multisync.
He's a professional whale tracker / IT hacker. Like, what is this guy's profession? I don't
He's
understand
got
this.
2 pairs of glasses on.
Yeah. Just skip it. Just skip it. Move on.
Do you know
Move
is
on.
that-
Just
I'm
skip
looking
it.
for logic in a Jim Carrey movie. I'm sorry.
What's that, Mr. B?
Do you know the actor's name?
Tell us.
Rainer Shine.
Rainer Shine.
It's
That is
not.
brilliant.
It's a stage name.
That is
and the funny
brilliant.
thing
No.
is, I got my start in acting in Norfolk, Virginia, and he was a local actor there. A lot of folks I knew him. He got cast in this film locally.
He knows everyone that we do movies about. This is crazy.
He looks like Johnny Fever
Just-
from WKRP in
Just-
Cincinnati.
And Bingo?
What?
No, I never met him.
Oh, okay.
I just 6 degrees.
Oh, there you
God
go.
damn,
I was
Courtney
about
Cox.
to say Jason's about to get so
God
distracted. Oh, because okay, Darby. This is why I would argue with you about the bits in the movie because I do love the Star Trek stuff, and I grew up. My dad and I watched Star Trek together every night. That was the one program I was allowed to stay up late to watch with him. And so I got the McCoy. I got
Very
like,
logical, Captain.
yeah, like, damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a pool man, but like, I loved it. So my favorite bit is coming up when they do the Mission Impossible music,
Yeah.
and he's pretending to be
That's
in
fair.
so much more danger than he really is. I
and
love
even
that.
the Captain Steuben reference.
Great.
Yeah, that's a great one.
How many people are going to get the Captain Steuben reference nowadays?
I didn't get that one until I was older, but I did get the
okay.
Star Trek stuff. So I think it depends. Like, it's kind of hit or miss. Whatever you watched with your parents, or because if my dad hadn't been into Star Trek when I was growing up, I probably would have never watched it.
Yeah.
because it was a little before me. So yeah.
I love how Ace Ventura disguises his name by cleverly saying Tom Ace.
I think Courtney Cox does that for him, actually. She calls him Tom Ace. But yeah, he's pretending to be a lawyer and harassing the poor guy whose house they're at. Because here's what's happening, Hindsiders. We've been joking about and sort of talking through this. So now Ace Ventura has found his first potential culprit as to who kidnapped Snowflake the dolphin. And it is his name... Do you know off the top? Oh, Ron Camp. So he's this millionaire who actually donated the stadium land that the Dolphins built their stadium on.
For our younger viewers, in the 90s, millionaire was really impressive.
It was.
It was before we lived in the era of billionaires.
$100 million.
$1 million. Okay.
That's just not a lot of money anymore. But yeah, he was this millionaire who collects rare fish. So that's a really obvious lead for Ace Ventura to follow.
If I ever
on.
become a millionaire, I want to be known as the millionaire that blank and have something like that. You know, collects rare fish.
Like a Tombstone moment sort of
yeah,
thing?
you know, like Jason Mitchell. He's the millionaire who has a huge hat collection.
He bred all the chinchillas.
yes. Obsessed with chinchillas.
He's the millionaire. He's the millionaire that likes to expose himself in public.
Yeah.
Be that guy.
I thought that was Elon. No, he's a billionaire. He's a billionaire.
That's
sorry.
different.
Yeah.
That's different.
Just kidding, Elon. We love you.
Get your life together. He was
I
on
love
Rick and
that
Morty.
this
He's awesome.
this billionaire dude, is played by the cliche '90s villain actor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have his name in my notes, but
Generic Bond villain knockoff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Kmart Bond villain.
Yes.
He is one white cat away from being a Bond villain.
Hang on a second. For those of us, our viewers who are younger, Kmart used to be a store that you could go to and buy things like Walmart, but with more white trash.
Light special?
Yeah.
What? I don't know what's happening.
And then Rain Man talks shit about Kmart.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, let me ask you all this. What was your earliest exposure to Jim Carrey?
This
was the first one.
Because I was 6 when this movie came out.
I have a hunch that me and Mr. B saw Jim Carrey.
In Living Color?
Yeah.
Was it Living Color before this? I assume it was.
Well, it was about a year before this, yeah.
The Deadpool.
This is back when Jim Carrey was only known as the token white guy on In Living Color.
Yes.
Well, and that's where I brought up the
fireman,
Fire Marshal Bill.
Fire Marshal Bill.
And
Jesus.
overly confident gay man.
Yeah.
Because that's where a lot of
Ace Ventura.
Let me show you something.
But the ass bit came from In Living Color because he was fighting with which Wayans brother was on In Living Color?
Damon?
Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans.
It was one of the
Sean
40
Wayans.
Wayans brothers.
I think Damon Wayans was the one that he did the ass bit to.
Okay, yeah, because they fought and because he he rejected all of Jim's sketch proposals. So Jim bent over and started talking out of his ass at Mr. Wayans to the point where it pissed him off so badly that he stormed out. And they made up and made friends eventually, but that's where the ass bit came from in this movie.
But no, the first time I ever saw Jim Carrey was as the rock star who gets murdered in the Dirty Harry movie, The Deadpool.
Dirty Harry 5.
Yes,
Deadpool.
the last of the Dirty Harry
I've
movies.
never actually seen that one.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's
Jim Carrey played like a drugged out Axl Rose kind of wannabe.
Yeah, in fact, he lip synced "Welcome to the Jungle."
Yeah.
Just like how he lip synced "Do You Want Somebody to Love" and Cable Guy.
Ooh.
The one that I don't like. I'm not a big fan of Cable Guy.
I like the Cable Guy.
No, he actually sang that song. He didn't lip sync.
Yeah, I like the Cable Guy. I think it's
Cable Guy is such a weird, dark, culty movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I'm just not a big fan. Oh, okay. No. So I've got to interrupt. I'm so sorry because I brought this up before. You were just asking, what was my first exposure to Jim Carrey? This, Ace Ventura, because my dad took me to see it in theaters. I was 6 years old. And when Jim falls into the shark tank because he's looking for Snowflake at the Millionaire's Mansion, I lost my little 6-year-old mind. Thinking that he was gonna die, and I was terrified.
No, James Bond is going to die.
I screamed and I've panicked in the theater, and my dad was like, "Be quiet!" He was like, "Sweetie, it's funny. He's not gonna die. I swear to God."
It's a bit. It's
all
a
right.
bit.
Calm down. But oh my God, I had a little stroke. I thought Jim Carrey was gonna die, and I could not differentiate. Because when you're 6, you can't tell that the movie's not real.
Yeah, I wish there was a pill you could take that when you watch a movie, you can sort of like go back? Because I mean, think about that. Like,
remember the exact experience.
You could so buy into shit so much.
That's true.
You know, I mean, like,
we'd enjoy stuff more
well,
these
yeah.
days if you could.
I mean, think about it. The last time that a movie scared the shit out of you, really just terrified you, you were probably a little kid.
No, I'm an epic chicken though.
My first exposure to Jim Carrey was either this or The Mask, because when I was a kid, I didn't see this when it came out. I was 2 years old, so I clearly saw it on VHS. But when we went to the video store every week, I would only rent either Superman or Jim Carrey movies, and this was the one I usually chose.
Oh yeah.
Did your mom do the same thing to me, where she would go, "Sweetie, why don't you rent a different movie?" No, I want to watch this
every
one
every time.
See,
If
my dad,
only there was some way of owning these movies.
Oh man, imagine.
I paid $300 for a copy of E.T., but now I can watch it anytime I want.
Imagine how many car payments worth of movies we've rented.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's
But
so
it was
sad.
so enjoyable. I've said this before. One of the problems I have with everything being streaming, and you know, and this, I don't think this is an old guy complaint. I think this is a legitimate sort of complaint, is when you watched TV, you would see commercials. And one of the types of commercials would be for other things, other programs, other movies, other TV shows. And you'd go, oh, okay.
Whereas streaming just wants you to watch very similar stuff. But,
Right.
But
yeah.
the algorithms are kind of messed up, especially now that we're in
Yeah, they
quarantine, because now that I've watched Tiger King, my algorithms don't know what to do with me.
Oh, well, because it's the
It's a mess.
there's a name for it. It's the Pandora problem. Because if you have Pandora,
Okay.
and I do, and I know this has happened to me, you make this perfect playlist, you know, this perfect station, and it's constantly playing songs that you really like for the mood that you've selected,
Right.
and then you thumb up one song, and it decides that's it, that's all you want. And your entire the whole station's ruined, and all you get now are Steely Dan songs. And fuck it, I just like one of their fucking songs.
That is an old man complaining.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
old man listen to Steely Dan.
Yeah,
Steely Dan?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I know.
Grandpa.
Yeah. Hey, Steely Dan's before my time.
Oh my god. Okay, you got to bring this up too. Getting back to the movie, gentlemen. So, what?
Oh yeah, the movie.
It's a bit of a stretch how Ace is suddenly an expert on not just gemstones, but championship rings and Super Bowl rings. Once again, I guess I shouldn't worry about it, but
Yeah, it's just a movie. You should really just relax.
and there's the whole montage.
Suspend your disbelief. Suspend your
I'm
disbelief.
sorry if you're questioning the logic of Ace Ventura, you have better
Yes.
things to do with your time.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose you're right.
I don't understand, Captain. This movie makes no sense.
I can't do it, Captain. I don't have the
This
power.
It would be illogical to have this many animals in one home.
Oh man, and that's another thing, because when he finally does hook up with Courtney Cox, she had a story about all those animals being in the room while they were filming the love scene between them.
Oh God.
She said they all had to be roped or chained to where they were. Yeah.
Chained down, yeah.
And she was like, the thing is, the animals would flip out. Like, the cockatoo would bite the penguin, and the penguin would bite one of the dogs, and it was just utter chaos. And I would end up with sheets over my head and a cockatoo, like, underneath the sheets with me.
He's going to towel snap Freddie Mercury.
Oh man. Oh, and this is a hindsight sort of thing. So when we'd go through the whole montage and he's hunting down all of the different championship rings, because he notices that one little pebble in Snowflake's filter from his tank when he's first examining it, he figures out, he just knows off the top of his head that it's from the 1984 championship ring. And so there's that. So now he's hunting down every single guy who has that ring, who was on the team that year. And this one right here. So this is what I didn't get as a kid, is when he's at the urinal and he's trying to look at the guy's championship ring, and it looks like he's checking out his penis. And then the guy prances after.
Hey, Tom, nice
He
penis.
likes it.
Have you guys ever seen this movie on television?
Yes.
A long time
Yes.
ago.
Yes.
So the TV version has to fill a lot of time, I guess, because commercials and whatnot. So they add all of the deleted scenes that they don't put on the DVD on the TV version. And there's some truly great stuff in there, like a scene that I sent Darth Jader earlier, where
I didn't
Jim
see
Carrey
it.
hijacks a Cannibal Corpse concert and takes over as lead singer.
Well,
Yes.
and it.
Do we need a break?
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment.
That's where he got the fake mustache. Oh, it's all coming together now. All right.
This
That
came
makes
with
sense.
the 70s porn star
Yeah, the
ensemble, so
yeah,
to
the
speak.
kid.
They pick him up hitchhiking in the middle of the desert. And
Well, there's your first mistake.
yeah, exactly.
So it's just a normal episode.
Yep.
That, I'm at it.
I really think that if I ever worked in the government, I want to be the fat balding guy who just works in the office and always watches happening on TV.
Give me a.
She hates me.
She really, really does.
We ever got together and made porn as directors.
Right.
We'd be the Fluffer Brothers.
But anyway, thank you once again for tuning in.
Thank you. It's like kissing her.
And we're back, Hindsighters. Thank you for joining us after the break. So, Mr. Brown, where are we in the film right now?
Well, it would appear Roger Podacter, who was one of the coaches of the Miami Dolphins, just took his own life. And Ace Ventura has a thing or two to say about it.
He does indeed, with that awesome pompadour.
He has a few theories on how the murder actually went down.
Well, and it's kind of funny because Ace does turn out to be a pretty damn good detective.
Yeah,
Better than the
he is.
police force.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's kind of funny.
If he wanted to, he could actually be like a human homicide detective.
Yeah, Courtney Cox does say that to him at some point. She's like, why didn't you ever try to be an actual detective for people? And he's like, I've got a kinship with animals. So he explains that away. But yeah, so he is at Podacter's
Registered
house.
sex offender. Sorry. Sorry.
Don't bring your personal business into this, Jason.
I think we got
Jeez.
our prayers crossed.
Get back here, you pigly son of a bitch.
That's the best.
I got you. So anyway, yeah, so Ace is actually a better detective than the police force, so that's crazy. And this is what killed me right here, is that he comes up with the theory that Podacter did not kill himself, rather he was murdered. And he's the only one of all these detectives who noticed the spot of blood.
Well, that's something.
Balcony?
Yeah, that's something that happens in pretty much every detective-y sort of thing.
No, but not even that. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is the fact that then Lieutenant Einhorn, the leader of all the detectives, touches the blood with her bare finger. Because she,
Well, she's doing it to corrupt it.
I guess this was...
Yeah.
Well, you don't know that yet,
Yeah,
though.
but I know, but I mean, that's what she's doing.
This is pre-COVID-19, back when you could touch blood with your bare fingers and not die. So I guess that's what she's doing.
Yeah, but
Good old days.
since she's the killer, though, she's trying to contaminate it.
No,
to
that
make-
totally
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
It's just that you don't know that at this point in the movie.
Right.
So, yeah. But nobody brings that to light either. They see her do it. It's an obvious gesture that she does in front of several people, but nobody bothers to question her about it. So,
Yeah.
once again, I think I'm looking for logic, but there's
yeah.
no logic to be found. So I'm sorry. Somebody else say something.
It's
now.
it's like what
She's
it's
the
like
boss.
looking at a
The
Dada
boss.
painting.
Nobody's going to mess with the boss.
Yeah,
It's a schooner, damn it.
yeah. Clocks don't melt.
Never.
Right.
So yeah, Ace does show up all the detectives, and he proves that Podacter was probably murdered as opposed to having committed suicide.
Yes,
So that's where we're at.
He has a theory about the nobody heard because of the soundproof glass on the sliding door.
Yes, because the
And
neighbor
that
claimed.
iconic scene when he's yelling and opening and closing the door. That is beautiful.
So that's
Oh, it's
iconic,
great. I love
Mr.
it.
Brown, but the ass scene is not iconic. I don't understand this logic at all.
The ass scene is great.
Yes. Many of the
Active
icons.
phrasing.
I just steer clear of the ass.
Counselor, could I get a definition of iconic? We've lost her.
house is
We-
clear.
See, that's another reference that kids won't get.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, Poltergeist. Yeah,
Little Poltergeist reference.
you steer clear from the ass. Why?
Jim
I try
Carrey
to.
has a beautiful ass.
Yeah, I
Ever
mean,
since my days in the submarine, that was our
hate-
motto.
I
yeah.
hate every last one.
No,
of
I
you.
mean, I steer clear
I'm an ass
from.
man.
I keep people away from my ass, but you know, it's. Hey, look, when it's.
You can tell a lot about a person by the shape of their ass.
You can. And remember, kids, it's not gay if somebody's wearing a dress.
Alrighty then.
Like a glove.
Le mot juste.
Just make sure you wear your glove.
Yes.
Oh.
Come on, pull yourself together.
I can't. Oh
You're
my
a broadcast professional, goddammit.
No, I'm not. Professional? I don't know about
We're
that.
on live podcast.
Come on. The ladies and gentlemen of the internet expect more.
I'm blushing, gentlemen. My God. I just clutched my pearls about 40 times in less than a minute. So well done. Anyway.
Eyes wide shut. Let's all take a moment and look at Courtney Cox.
Please, don't.
Her last name is Cox.
He said it. We didn't.
Come on.
Whatever.
Come on. I'm just saying what everybody's thinking.
I'm
on
crying.
beer number
My God.
5 now.
I'm only on number 1, but it's 32 ounces. So.
I've barely gotten into this beer, but my God, gentlemen, I don't think I've ever lost it that hard on this show. Welcome to this historic
That's saying
moment.
something.
Well done.
That is saying something.
Yes, it is. My God. Okay. I'm back. So anyhow, I do like this bit as well, because as a younger kid when I watched this movie, I just certain moments stuck out more than others. So the ass talking scene, the Star Trek thing, him falling into the tank, that one stood out. And then this one right here, along with Ray Finkle's house, when Ace meets Ray Finkle's parents. But this part
God, priceless.
But I love this bit right here where Ace is telling Courtney Cox about, I had this dream where this dog was chasing me and he got closer and closer and closer. And when I woke up, he had just sunk his teeth in right before I woke up. And then if you look at this bite mark on my neck and he just like flips out and barks at her. He barks at multiple people in this movie. He's so crazy. He's got no filter and no self-control. It's awesome.
So that's the thing, though, I've noticed, Jader, is that you seem to be pointing out constant scene after scene that is quote-unquote iconic or great. I think that really just goes to show that every scene in this movie is perfect in every way.
Haha, deal with it, Jason.
Yeah, it's
So, hey,
yeah, no,
question, Adam Darby. They're doing some research on a computer of sorts. What is that they're looking at?
I've never seen such a device.
You know, I still can't remember the difference between microfiche and microfilm. I know one was in a James Bond movie.
I think you can find them both in a library regardless.
You mean at your local library?
Wait, what's a library? Hold on.
It's a place where homeless people go to masturbate.
Oh my God!
I think that
And
floored
it's
all three
time
of
for a
us.
break, folks.
Oh.
Apparently, I have a lot in common with homeless people.
Oh no, you didn't.
Glossing right past that. Mr. Brown,
Darby.
Mr. Brown, remember when you were the most scandalous person on my show? Oh, God. When
I know.
When
I've
did
been
that
lapped.
change?
I've been lapped by his tongue. Now they are they're in bed right now.
This is
They're
the
in bed right
love-making
now.
scene.
The
Yes.
lovemaking scene with all the animals watching, and boy, he's good.
He is.
Three times.
Those animals are all super horny too. They're
Look at
just
that bird, man.
that's what a bird looks like when it does what a homeless person does at a library.
I was about to say, how
Here's
did you
the
know this
thing,
about
though. You know,
birds?
some people, like a friend of mine, for instance, likes an audience when that's going on, and why not bring your pet in?
How did this episode
seriously.
devolve to this level?
I know a guy, same thing, and it's like I just no, I don't.
I feel like I need to leave.
Oh come on.
Just
I've
want
gotta go.
to put on a show.
Yeah,
Oh my. Okay, there's that.
I
But,
like to watch.
But okay, I will point this
Haters.
innocent. God, I'll point out this innocent fact. There's an iguana of
Peter
all the,
Sellers being there.
Anyway, there's an iguana sitting there along with all the other animals that are watching Ace and Melissa make love. That was actually Jim Carrey's pet iguana.
Yeah.
Because he had a personal chef
I
on
know.
set who cooked for him and the iguana.
Jim Carrey,
And you
Jim
don't
Carrey's
hate
a
him?
Real character.
I love him.
There's
Are
a
you
man
kidding
who
me?
makes his personal chef cook for his pet iguana, and you don't hate him. I'm sorry.
He has a pet iguana. He has an infatuation with Cannibal Corpse. Interesting guy.
He's off the wall, and honestly, you know what? I cook for my dogs, Jason, so deal with it.
But they have a medical reason, though.
Okay, that's
Don't
fair.
they?
Yeah,
You don't just do it for the fun of it. Yeah.
That's true. That's fair enough. But here we go. Now we're at Ray Finkle's childhood home in Greenbow, Alabama, wherever they are. I don't.
According to the sign, his new name is Ray Stinkle.
Yes.
It's where Titus is from.
Wait.
Yeah.
Where Ray Finkle's from, or Greenbow, Alabama? What are you talking?
Yeah, it's where the character of Titus.
Oh,
Titus Andromedon.
Oh, I thought you meant in real life. So
No,
I was
no.
like, wow, that's a good tie-in. But yeah, so
Oh, it reminds me. I need to call my dad.
God. Getting a shotgun pointing it in your face reminds you to call your dad. Well, that's good. To
Oh,
know.
and by the way, what movie was she in?
The mom?
Ghostbusters.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Yeah, the
Thank
librarian.
you. The
So
librarian, yes.
She's a great character actress.
She really is. Yeah.
Laces out.
And she's one of those hot women that you look at and you think, you know, when she was in her 20s, she was hot.
Dan Marino should die of gonorrhea and rot in hell.
Was that a quote or just a personal observation?
No, the mom's.
No, I know.
And she's
But
clearly.
she was also in Tu Wong Fu, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
Yes,
was.
she
Yep,
was.
she was, Mr. Brown. That's true. That's a movie that we will be doing in the future, Hindsider. So
Oh,
be looking
hells yeah.
forward to that.
We were supposed to do it already. Something happened, weren't we? We had it scheduled, but then like
the
the
world
guest
Yes,
fell
and
through.
I watched it.
Oh, the
for the
world
show.
ended.
The world ended.
Yeah, the world
so
ended, sorry.
we'll get Meg back on.
The world ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rapture happened. So,
We're the only 4 people
Oops.
left. We're not even really doing this show.
boy,
for
it's like
anyone
New
anymore.
York out there.
This is all a dream.
Sorry, community joke after the rapture.
Community now streamable on Netflix.
Yes, all 6 seasons.
I'm leaving.
Am I getting a check for that?
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
And then after that, Pilates. Yay. Pilates is a demon that eats your genitals.
You know what I just found in my Hawaiian shirt pocket was my Ace Ventura identity card.
Oh my God.
Oh.
You've got an Ace Ventura. Wait, hold that up to the camera. Hold that up. Hold that up to the camera one more time.
Yeah, we have to see this. We need evidence.
Wow. Where did you and how did you acquire this?
Well, I have an officially licensed Ace Ventura costume.
I'm tired of seeing your crotch, Darby. Put it down.
I'm not. Come on, it's a nice crotch. Let the man show it off.
I appreciate that, Jason.
Hey.
But I have an officially licensed costume, and it came with an ID card in the pocket.
Game
Do the pants
recognized
actually
game.
have a talking? Do the pants have a talking ass associated with them? Or is
There's
that
a
just
mouth
you?
on my ass crack.
I think you're the talking ass, Mr. Brown. I think that's what that is.
Oh.
Politics.
Boom.
I'm trying hard not to reference Ace Ventura 2.
Well, let's talk about that
Why?
because not only was there one sequel that was totally unnecessary, there were
Whoa,
actually
whoa.
I didn't mind
two.
the second one.
Ace Ventura When Nature Calls is great.
Because to be fair, Jim Carrey's only been in 2 sequels to 2 movies that he's ever been a part of.
Like
We
Dumb,
don't
Dumb and
talk about
Dumber.
Dumb and
other
Dumber
one.
and Ace Ventura. So
Dumb and Dumber 2 is not good.
No.
I'm not saying it. Well, I never even actually saw it because it did look horrible. But
You know who else didn't see it? All of humanity.
yeah.
Yes. David Attenborough could do
I
a
saw
documentary
it.
on the people who didn't see that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so what did you want to say about Ace
No,
Ventura 2?
but the amazing thing is that there wasn't just Ace Ventura 2. There was actually a third Ace Ventura.
yeah,
Jason, you have gone too far.
I gotta call it.
you're venturing off
look,
the beaten path.
I'm listening.
Is it a
I'm
conspiracy
listening.
theory?
Keep going.
Maybe it's a conspiracy theory, like the second gunman,
On
the
the-
Kennedy
on the
assassin,
grassy
on the
knoll.
grassy
I
knoll.
was the second gunman on the grassy knoll.
That's another reference kids won't get.
Well,
Yeah.
No, I'm
There's a lot of
serious. Yeah.
references that go over people's heads.
Well, because apparently we don't.
But there was a movie called Ace Ventura
When
Junior.
Nature Calls, and then Junior.
No,
Got it.
Junior, which was the son of Ace Ventura. I guess.
I never saw.
I never saw it, so
I haven't seen the movie. But I did some research. It's the long lost son of Ace Ventura. Ace Ventura in that movie has passed away, and his mother tells him of his father's legacy.
Wait, really? He's dead?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, that's because Jim Carrey's not in it, so they killed him off.
Well, they didn't do the same.
Is his mother Courtney Cox?
No, it's Lisa Kudrow.
I wish.
Well, it's kind of Indiana Jones how Shia LaBeouf showed up and he's Indiana Jones's kid from. Yeah, I know.
Come on.
They do horrible things to sequels.
Yeah,
I think
That's
we're all
like
agreeing.
that's like reminding a rape victim of what happened to her. Come on.
What? No, it isn't.
Ace Ventura Jr. is basically a kid doing a terrible Jim Carrey impression the whole movie.
I'm sorry, what was that from the peanut gallery over there, Mr. Darby?
I said
No,
that-
he's right.
He's
Ace
dressed
Ventura-
up like Ace Ventura right now. All right now.
Well played.
Touche, Darth Jader.
Well
Touche.
played.
Well played.
I try. Yeah.
Like a glove.
Like
a glove.
But yeah, so okay, favorite lines from this movie.
Wait, this was pre-OJ, right?
I was wondering that. I didn't. I was wondering that myself because
94.
isotoners and football players. So yeah, naturally I've thought of OJ.
OJ was 96.
So OJ, for you, Mr. Darby, OJ was a famous football player who committed a murder.
Who murdered his ex-wife and her lover.
And her lover, yes.
Sue me.
And don't forget, he was also the superstar of Rent-A-Car, Hertz.
And
he was the face of
The Naked
He was
Gun.
the face of Hertz, which I believe was the last words that his wife
Yes,
said.
yeah, I think so, yeah.
yeah, and it really hurt. Ooh.
Is he that?
Yeah,
Is
just
he
did
that dude from Naked Gun?
Yes.
Yeah.
See how young this fool is? What are we
Yeah.
gonna do with him? God. So
My favorite line, is that what you asked?
He's hilarious in Naked Gun.
He is hilarious in Naked Gun.
It's like wrong how funny he is.
But yeah,
He's
so
great.
favorite lines from this movie, and I think we should go round robin on this one. So Darby, you start us off.
It would be easy to say "alrighty then," but my favorite line from this movie is actually one that no one really thinks about. It's the line where he hasn't come up yet in the film, but it's the line where he knocks somebody out and he goes unconscious, exactly as I planned.
Okay, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
How much cocaine was involved in this? I'm just,
See, you're mixing him up with Robin Williams again. I told you not to do that at the beginning
Okay.
of the show.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry. I'm conscious, just like I planned it. Oh.
Nanu.
I knew you got- oh god.
Cosby raped women.
Oh god.
Oh.
What happened to this episode? When did I lose control of this episode? Christ. Okay, Mr. Brown, favorite line, go.
They got a manila
Oh, it's
folder
easy,
over
and
me.
I still use it today whenever I park my car. Like a glove.
All
I do
right.
love that. I love that line.
Pretty straightforward.
That's a great line.
It's a
That's
good
a great
one.
line.
All right, what about you, Jason?
The end.
That's not a line that Jim Carrey spoke.
No, Einhorn was a man. Yeah, that one.
Okay, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Your gun is sticking into my hip.
Yeah, that's about to happen, I think.
But
isn't
you
it?
know, I mean, guys, seriously, very, very transphobic movie.
A little.
Very transphobic.
But okay, but I've got a question about that.
He dead names her. You know,
That is a topic I've always been curious about. Is this movie technically transphobic?
he
Well-
he misgenders and dead names.
He does?
and I know those because I'm a sensitive man.
And a former attorney. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's fair.
When did I lose control of this podcast?
Don't you understand? You never had control.
Evidently not. I'm going back to favorite lines. God help me.
Let's bring it back to the
My
funny
favorite
part.
line, because no one else asked, was when he's already solved the mystery and they're on their way to take Dan Marino to the game. I hate you so effing much. So they're on
I
their
don't
way.
remember that line. I hate you so effing much. That was not nice.
That's that's a deleted scene.
No, yes, it is.
That
It's
was
one
the
of
TV version.
It
yeah.
was. No, my favorite line is when Dan Marino asks Ace, "Hey, you got any more of that gum?" And Ace goes, "That's none of your damn business, and I'll thank you very much to stay out of my affairs." I loved that when I was a kid, and I love it now because that's how I live my life.
You know what
When I used to go to
go ahead.
The
when I
roller
used
rink.
to go to Hollywood Video as a kid, they had a gumball machine at the front of the store, and it had everything in the store had movie quotes on it. And when you went to the gum machine, it had a line that says, "You have any more of that gum, Ace?" And then it said Dan Marino next to it. Fun fact.
very
Hollywood
cool.
Hollywood Video.
I know, the coolest story.
The new kid blockbuster.
I loved Hollywood because the thing about Hollywood Video is you would go there and
Tell us, old man Jason.
well no I barely dimly remember it, but they had like 95% of the store was sort of what you would expect at a video store, but
Yeah.
5% of it was some weird ass shit.
That's true.
And they would like find, oh, what is this German movie I've never heard of before?
They tried to venture out a little bit
Yes.
and be a little more eclectic.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation, where they were like, we only have documentaries about how the Japanese murder dolphins and whales.
But
Like,
and that's
so
sort of
random.
that's sort of my thing about like missing live TV, which is that there's that 5% of weird ass shit, but
that you can't control.
but one or two of those things in that 5% are going to be stuff that you love.
Well, see, maybe that's where your whole obsession with going down the rabbit hole
Yes.
of what people
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
bought came from. That's my guess.
Yeah.
That's your origin story.
I
There
feel
you
like
go.
I feel like they should be singing "There She Goes."
There
So-
she goes again.
I used to go to Hollywood Video every single week, and that was my favorite store in the world. A lot of my DVD collection actually comes from Hollywood Video.
Are you old enough to have a DVD collection? Are you sure?
Oh yeah, isn't it actually kind of amazing how brief was the reign of DVD?
Only for about 10 years.
It really
Like,
didn't. I don't even think it was 10 years.
No, it was because it started when I would have been about.
No, it was like late '90s when they started.
Yeah, so
I got my-
middle school for me,
Yeah,
and then
I-
almost through college. Like, yeah, absolutely.
I got my first DVD player in 1998.
okay.
And it was,
Yeah.
and I had to save up for a
That sounds about
long
right.
ass time.
Oh yeah, because they were like $300 million back then, and now you can
Yeah.
get them for $2.
They were like just shy of $200 for
Yeah.
a decent one.
Yeah.
They were ridiculously
So
expensive.
we had a VHS DVD combo player.
Ooh la la.
Oh, somebody's gonna get laid in college.
Oh yeah, I wasn't in college when I had it. I was little, but yeah.
Nobody watches Rick and Morty except for you and me on this show. Apparently, that's it. Go ahead with your story. We're sorry.
That was the story.
Ooh, all right, fun anecdote.
I got my DVD player, and I also got an epic 27-inch TV.
I thought you were going in a really different direction.
Oh
with
my!
that.
People came, like locals came just to see a 27-inch TV.
People came, is what you're saying?
When they saw it?
they came.
I did when I bought it,
My soul's already dead, so you can't shock me anymore, gentlemen.
and that was back when you wanted pornography. It came on a tape in a big box like this big.
And the woman never took off her brassiere
Yeah.
back in the day.
Janine Lindemulder,
I lied earlier. I think
Oh,
the
no.
entire bit where Ace is pretending to be even crazier at the mental institution is the best scene of the movie.
It's great. Put me in, coach. Like, he's just flipping out and pretending to be completely insane in order to... They've got this ruse going on, hindsighters, because once again...
ruse?
It's a ruse, you big dumb idiot. Yeah, so Jim has even crazier bird hair than normal, and he's trying to track down all of Finkle's personal effects from the asylum from which he busted out. And he's getting Courtney Cox to pretend to be his sister to pretend to commit him so that he can do some snooping around. But he's pretending to be a guy who's obsessed with football. And I agree with you, Darby. I love the super slow-mo let's see that back in super slow-mo. Like, it's...
Yo, Ray.
Yep. And he smashes into the doctor. It's just... This is Jim
him
Carrey
going
at his
backwards
finest.
is amazing.
I don't know how he did that. That was pure talent. Just
They really. I hate to sound like an old man for once, like Adam Brown, but they really don't. They don't make comedies like this anymore.
Low blow out of nowhere.
Oh, he's been making them.
No, they don't though. No, you are right though. They they don't make. You know, as somebody who likes cinema of all varieties, drama, horror, comedy, whatever,
Yeah.
erotica.
Erotica?
They don't make them like they used to,
They don't.
except erotica.
Well, at least you guys didn't have to watch your porn on 16 millimeter film like I did.
No shit.
Those were the days.
Yeah, but at least then you couldn't hear her.
Oh man.
We'd invite everyone over. We'd have beers. You know, and
I
The
remember,
original stag party.
right. I remember the day. I remember the days of going and turning the TV on to Cinemax that you did not subscribe to.
Skinamax.
And it was all blurred out, you know, and scrambled, and you would just wait. How long would it take before you saw a nipple?
And then that kid who was like, I unscrambled it at my house.
Yeah,
My TV's
now-
different.
Yeah, I've got a total. My cousin sold me a chip, and it's unscrambled.
Chips.
So
Oh my
Jason,
God.
Jason, you saw your porn on dial-up internet, right?
I did do dial-up internet porn, and it was great because you would have to wait for the picture to load, and you never knew quite what you were buying into until you got to
God.
about 50%.
Oh man.
Please don't have male genitals. Please don't have male genitals. Oh, whammy!
And then it was Burt Reynolds on a bearskin rug. God damn it.
bum bum ba bum.
Anyhow, hey, there's Tone Loc. There's a movie that we're watching. God help me. Get me out of here.
All right, let's go back.
wait, there's Ace. Ace is having a bird eat seed out of his belly button. That's
Yes.
a little kinky.
It's a very
This is-
That's
particular
what's kinky
fetish.
about this. Oh.
This is the big epiphany scene where Ray where Ace
Ortho-
realizes that Finkle is Einhorn.
Well, and this is another stretch. So Ace has all those different animals in his house, and he's just pacing back and forth. Like, what's the link? Because he finds the newspaper article about a lady named Lois Einhorn, the name of the lieutenant that he's at odds with at the Miami Police Department. And it turns out she's actually a missing person. She died or disappeared on a hike, and he doesn't know how to put the two people together. And then there's this great big stretch of his Yorkie dog coming up to him and then laying exactly perfectly on Finkle's photo, and the fur makes it look like Finkle has lady's hair, and that's what makes Ace realize that, oh, Einhorn is Finkle. Finkle is Einhorn, and he just freaking flips out.
And then everybody
And
starts.
it's a great
scraping
scene.
their
It's a great
tongues.
scene because he realizes that
Here we go.
Einhorn is Finkle, and then he takes a shower. He plungers his mouth. He burns the clothes that
burns
he's
his
wearing.
clothes. Oh yeah.
Giggity.
That's a little extreme, I think.
Yeah, I mean, come
In
on.
this day and age, people would be kind of into it.
Yeah.
But back then, I guess it was still taboo.
Hey, look, she's hot.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what's
that's right.
okay. So this is I have to bring this up because I've thrown my notes all over the place, but I will quote that. No, it's okay. So y'all know who Tone Loc is, right? The rapper,
Funky
yeah,
Cole
of course.
Medina.
Funky Cold Medina, because part of the
These
lyrics.
are just shirtless pictures of Tone Loc.
Shh. Give
I
them back.
only know Tone Loc from this movie.
No, so
What?
Yeah, you heard me.
I'm gonna throw my other notes at you in a moment, but part of the lyrics, and I want to make sure I do them correctly, is, and I'm not going to because I wrote them on the ones that I already threw at you guys. But yeah, it's he's not here for an Oscar Mayer wiener. You got to make sure that the girl is pure for the funky Cold Medina. So that's just perfect. It fits so well with this movie.
Oh, the 90s.
Oh, wait, this has got to be a reference here of him bathing himself naked. Is that from the Crying Game or something? I don't know.
It's from a lot of things.
Well, you know, it is actually one of those weird coincidences that The Crying Game came out at the same time this movie was in production.
Did it?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
That.
they actually they did. and I don't remember what it is, but there is a reference in the movie to the Crying Game that was a last-minute addition that they made because it came out while they were filming the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. It's probably in my notes that I rumpled up and threw at one of you idiots.
Has anyone here actually seen the Crying Game?
No, I've never seen the Crying Game.
It's all right. It's all
You've
right.
seen everything.
Yeah.
I'd wager that you've seen almost every movie.
The actor who played the subject of the Crying Game though was
Dill.
That was the
character's name was Dill.
Yeah, Dill was the Pharaoh in.
He's Pickle Ray.
Pickle Ray.
You're welcome. I just did that. Yeah. So his name was Dill.
The Pharaoh in I'm Hanging.
Yeah, so his name was Dill. Go ahead.
Stargate.
Oh.
Yeah, and those were the only 2 movies. That was it.
Forever and
a
always.
A brief career.
It's a very Andy Buckley type story. But here we David Wallace from The Office. He actually auditioned, and it was supposed to be a bit part, but he turned into a recurring character. So, but it's like the one thing that he's famous for. So anyway, Dan Marino is now being held hostage at the marina.
Yeah.
Lace is out, Dan.
Real deep.
I know this movie was really stretching, but I love how even Ace turns it into a bit when it's clear that Dan Marino is this close to being murdered, along with the dolphin that he's supposedly tracking down. But he takes his sweet ass time, like doing that bit.
Is it a screaming black dolphin? No, it's not. It's just regular. Okay, all right. I just wanted to know.
Laces out.
Laces out.
So this is when Einhorn kicks the ball, Ray Finkle style.
Yes. Oh, so that was a thing that happened. So Ray Finkle was actually played by multiple people. And Jason, I'm gonna get your help with this since you are so good at the German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love the German.
Very good at the German. So why don't you tell us about this story right here with the German name? About how Finkle was played by multiple folks.
Oh, Uwe von Schamann. He was born in Berlin, Germany, and moved to Fort Worth, Texas, like the cheeky man. He played for the Dolphins for 6 seasons. Who cares?
No, he was one of the multiple people who
Footage
played
of
the
Finkle
character.
missing the goal was of von Schamann.
Yeah, because he
The
was an
Dolphins
actual
team
kicker.
picture was Finkle, in fact, was Sean Young in a wig and fake mustache. Pete Stoyanovich, who was a real kicker for the Dolphins, kicked for Finkle/Einhorn at the warehouse.
Yeah, so multiple people actually ended up playing Einhorn, and poor Sean Young. She's in a movie, this transphobic movie, and she also has kind of a guy's first name in real life. Like, I don't know how all these pieces came together on their own, but they did.
Can we stop referring to Ace Ventura as a transphobic movie?
Agreed.
You started it!
So real quick story while we're talking about Ray Finkle. I was going to a costume party where I was going to wear my Miami Vice jacket. I was looking for some, a pastel shirt, and I happened upon a shirt that had Miami written on it. And then when I purchased it, it was a football jersey. I didn't recognize till when I got home.
Is that the Finkle shirt? Oh my god!
Oh my god! That is awesome!
That's amazing!
Mine. Oh,
Where did you find this shirt?
It was a Goodwill. I found it at
the
Goodwill.
greatest-
It was like $3.
That's
And
the
it's my favorite
greatest.
shirt.
No, it's so unfair.
No, guys, don't keep telling him how great it is. He's gonna get naked and rub around in it.
Ew. You have no idea, Mr. Brown, because I actually tried to buy one of those shirts to dress up because I knew that Darby had his own Ace Ventura costume. And I've got the tropical shirt and the wife beater going on, sure, but I actually tried to buy a Ray Finkle jersey for this episode. But Prime is doing this thing right now where it's like, sorry,
I'm
Jade.
jelly.
Dude, what?
I'm so jelly right now. I really want one of those Ray Finkle shirts.
He's peanut butter and jealous right now. That's what he is. So,
that honestly is the greatest Goodwill find of all time.
oh, I'm jealous too, Mr. Brown. Well done. Well played. Some applause for you. But
Couldn't let the movie end without that.
No.
He's got that artifact. It was actually in a frame. He busted the glass today to actually show it to us.
In case of emergency, break glass.
Exactly. He's had that in a frame for years, and then he just had to meet these two weirdos, and fate just came together. And eventually his Ray Finkle shirt became relevant, so that's awesome.
Dan Marino trying to act so
Yeah.
hard. He's just, bless his heart, he's trying to act so
Bless his
hard.
heart. So yeah, he's been abducted along with Snowflake, and so that's something that we have to explain too, is why does Einhorn hate Snowflake the dolphin? Darby, do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody know?
That would be because Ray Finkle, a.k.a. Lois Einhorn, missed the giant kick that was needed to win the Super Bowl for the Miami
Kick
Dolphins.
her around the world, yes.
Super Bowel.
But she forever blames Dan Marino for not holding the ball in place.
No. That's why she hates
the
Marino. But why does
dolphin-
she hate the dolphin?
The dolphin, they would dress it up as Ray Finkle, and it would kick
Yes!
a field goal and actually get it.
Oh, Mr. Brown, he schooled you on your own movie, Darby. Deal with that.
You young whippersnapper.
I got schooled.
He did. He sure did. But yeah, they actually gifted Ray Finkle's number and jersey to Snowflake the dolphin and trained the dolphin to do the field goal kick. So that's why Ray Finkle / Lois Einhorn hates the dolphin as well as Dan Marino. So
Adding a layer of salt and insults to the world.
Yes.
from a saltwater mammal.
Well, this movie is like an onion. You just peel open
Ogres.
more and more amazing
Or like
things.
I
Yes,
don't think
it is.
anybody understands how many layers there are to Ace Ventura.
No, there's actually a lot going on in this movie. It's surprising. Jason, you
mean,
whatever.
It really is a game-changing cinematic masterpiece, I think.
Yes, it's Goodfellas, this, Ten
Inception.
Commandments, you know.
Ben-Hur.
Yeah, Ben-Hur.
Death Race
Yeah.
2000.
Was Ace Ventura.
Oh,
Yeah.
so something I did think of you, Mr. Brown, and Jason when I was watching this, because since Jim Carrey, they named the apartment after his complex. I was like, wow, you'd think David Cronenberg would have just shacked up with Jim Carrey once he lost his apartment in Canada from Shivers. So, but apparently that was too far.
I don't
want to
see. I don't want to see a Cronenberg Carrey movie. I don't think the world would recover. I don't want to see that.
Oh God!
We're about to hit the big scene where you
The
find
finale.
You find out that Einhorn is Buffalo Billing, the old dill.
It's a tucky.
I was not expecting that joke.
Do you want to?
It's the old tuck and fold, you know?
Yeah.
How would you know about that? Where did you learn about this,
I
Darby?
will tuck my junk so
We
fast.
don't need to ask about the tugging and the tucking.
Oh, okay.
Tucking.
Um,
Tugging is a whole different thing.
You
Tugging is a
don't
whole different
tug while you tuck. That defeats the whole purpose.
Well, sometimes you do a little tug before you tuck. It makes it
Yeah.
easier, you know?
why did I ask the question? Why did I ask the question? Anyway,
It's the crossing legs is what I'm saying.
yes.
luckily, Courtney Cox and
Bloody hell, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
But this next part has something for everyone, really.
Yes, it really does.
Something for everyone.
It's a crowd pleaser.
Do I want to know why?
When I was a kid, I was actually very interested in this scene for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Mainly Sean Young's body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, she is an attractive lady.
Yeah. You go up to your mother. I have a question for you.
See, okay, so
I was watching the latest this movie, Ace Ventura.
well, imagine, guys. So my dad took me to see this movie, and I was curious about words, and I ended up being an English major. Imagine. So I asked him what hemorrhoids meant, and he was like, and I said, "Is that something you don't want to tell me?" And he goes, "Yes."
Really?
Very much so.
Hemorrhoids?
Yeah, he didn't want to explain it to. I was 6 years old. He didn't want to explain hemorrhoids to me. So yeah, no. I was like, okay, I won't worry about it then. So yeah, that's it was an awkward
She's
experience.
a man, baby. She's a man, baby.
Someone must
The
have beaten her
worst-
with an ugly stick. God.
The worst case of hemorrhoids I have ever seen.
That's exactly what made me ask that, because and you gotta love that he works his way down. At least he's sort of trying to be a gentleman about revealing that she's not really a woman, because at first he's just tugging on her hair, then he rips open her blouse, and then he rips her skirt off. So at least
Holy testicle Tuesday.
and I love that Dan Marino is the one who had to notice that Lois is tucking, I think is what he called it, gentlemen. So
Yeah.
So I'm going to be real with you guys. I was so lost
'Cause he
as a
hasn't
young
been
boy
already.
watching this movie.
Does she
Do
have
you
a
understand it
gaff?
now? Do you understand it now? That's
Oh,
important.
I watched Silence of the Lambs and I understood everything. So
Got it.
Because she doesn't appear to have a gaff, and I know that term.
I've given up my faith in humanity. I'm quitting the show, and I'm never coming back.
Yeah, she's going to be a nun by the.
Where no tugging happens ever. Oh my god. So yeah, shut up, Jason. So yeah, we've revealed that, and you have to agree at the very least that Sean Young does play crazy as well as actually act crazy, because
Yeah.
she has to stay in character for a hot minute while Jim Carrey has like a
I'm
10-minute
I'm
monologue.
still waiting for the movie. I'm waiting for Sean Young to do a film with Margot Kidder.
Yeah. As her mom?
Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Why not? So, okay, and that's a joke I didn't get as a kid, because clearly Lois has kissed every single guy who works,
Including the dolphin.
who works
Yes.
for the
Yeah.
Miami Police
Yes.
Department.
Yes.
The Ray
women-
Finkle dolphin. Yeah.
The men, the women, the dolphins.
Everybody.
Everyone.
It just, well, that's what happens when you don't finish your therapy at Shady Acres Asylum. That's what happens.
There is so much of this movie that really did go over my head at age 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
okay, here's my question. I wasn't observant enough as a kid. Was she wearing the championship ring the entire time? Because that's a thing at the beginning
It's kind of a dead giveaway.
when
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
That's why Ace calls out Ron Camp in the beginning, because he's like, he's wearing that championship ring, and that's where the whole gemstone argument comes up. So she can't have been wearing it the entire time. I meant to pay attention to it when we rewatched it, but y'all derailed me so damn hard. It hurts.
Subsequent viewing.
Yeah, it's a curse. So
So, Mr. Darby, I have a question. When you first watched this film and the initial customer didn't have any money to pay him and asked if he wanted her to take off his pants, and he said, "Let me think about that." Yes. And then he's like holding on to the roof. And
Yeah.
Did you get that part
Yeah.
As a
Prostitution's funny.
as a kid?
As a kid, I had no idea what was going on.
I didn't
Well,
either.
especially because in that whole scene when he's hanging from the
the
door
rafter
jam,
or the door jam.
his
yeah.
pants don't come off. So it's like,
Have you heard of zippers, Jason?
no, I mean, you can see his pants the whole time.
Zippers.
Yeah, but
Does it not have a zipper?
I'm
Like-
pretty sure that we can go into the dynamics of doing that, but this motion usually isn't
I'd rather
compatible.
not.
Although,
I think at that point the PAs were just yanking on his legs. You know, they were hoping that the camera was high enough
Yeah.
to see them.
Yeah, she was really showcasing her talent in that scene.
Yes.
In that really almost bondage level style top
Yes.
that she's
Oh,
wearing.
this is the ending scene where
Yes.
Ace is trying to catch that pigeon bird that he was trying to catch at the beginning of the
Pigeon
film.
Pigeon bird. It's a duck bird.
and who thwarts him? Who thwarts him, Mr. Darby?
And he's thwarted, ironically, by a mascot bird.
That would be a Philadelphia Eagle, I think.
Irony.
Philadelphia Eagle.
The Philadelphia. It would be an
The
eagle
Eagles.
bird.
Listen,
an eagle bird.
So, yeah, the movie ends on such a graceful note. Dan Marino's shaking his head at that scamp Jim Carrey.
That Ace Ventura.
Oh, that pet
He's-
detective of mine.
He's a character, that one.
Oh, that dog of mine.
Did you guys-
I've done that to you guys several times on the show.
What are your guys' thoughts on the Tone Loc Jim Carrey rap duo in the credits?
I didn't notice it when I was a kid because I didn't know who Tone Loc was when I was 6. But yeah,
never knew who Tone Loc
now
was.
that I know who he is, it kind of reminds me of Deep Blue Sea when LL Cool J raps at the end of that shark movie. So
Oh my
yeah,
God!
that
I
shark
completely
fish.
forgot that he had a rap song at the end of that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
People
I've already called that movie. Like, it's happening, and I think Darby wanted to be.
Tits, man. I love that movie.
Oh, that movie is cinematic genius. You
Thrasher Band.
Cannibal Corpses.
those people.
Joe
So they
7 Bucaro. How much did
messed
everyone hate him?
No, there was
They messed
actually
up the band name in the credits. It's Cannibal Corpse, not Cannibal Corpses.
Oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. But I think there was another guy that I wrote this down at the beginning of my notes. There was a guy named like hold on, I gotta find it in my notes. Y'all say something.
So jealous. I want that shirt.
Tiny Ron.
24-frame computer.
There's someone actually credited in this movie as Tiny Ron. So I think he was one of the henchmen that sort of picks up Dan Marino and runs away with him or something.
Yeah. I like the key grip is Edward Not the Third.
Hey, at least he got
Key grip.
special effects by Dan.
My grandfather was Edward Not the Third. Key grip for Ace Ventura.
Well, 'cause there's just so much going on in this movie, especially with, like you said, Darby, there's a lot of eliminated scenes. There
was CTW. Sound editors. CTW.
Yeah. I don't know. But
I don't know. I don't know if they play this anymore. But if anybody has a chance to watch Ace Ventura on television, watch it on television because they include about 5 to 10 minutes of extra footage, and it's all comedic gold.
And like some of the scenes they just completely cut from the movie altogether. Like when Ace is at the marina and he gets that big hook and swings it into the bad guys, which they don't just split apart like you would.
Yeah.
But in the original version, he decapitated both of them with that hook. And
really?
maybe that's a little dark for this.
That was a good decision.
So they cut
on
it
the part of the director.
No, but there's another ironically not included scene because apparently there was a subplot where Ace convinces a gas station attendant to not commit suicide. And that was so Yes Man, because they did that in Yes Man where he convinces a guy not to kill himself. So,
Yes
but they cut that out of this.
Yeah. I forgot about Yes Man.
Everybody forgot about Yes Man. Don't worry.
Yes Man. I have it on my DVD shelf.
His DVD shelf.
Aww.
It's like when Mr. Brown put his pin on that girl when he was watching Robin Hood.
Wait, what?
Totally different story.
Whoa.
You don't watch our episodes to do notes. I remember stories that you don't.
Wait, are you saying that Adam Brown saw the original Disney Robin Hood in theaters?
Yes. No, he saw the original one with
Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn.
No, he was telling us.
I was young though. You know, to my.
I had just graduated from college, and I saw this new Errol Flynn
He's wearing
movie.
his Finkle shirt.
Nice.
When did you change that we didn't notice? Please tell me.
Come on. He hasn't had pants on the whole time.
Literally 5 minutes ago.
Just a minute ago.
Somehow he did a costume change. No, but
I put it on. Now I'm in like Flynn.
Good movie.
Only I know what that means.
Yeah, no, good movie. I love that movie.
I think you mean you're in like Finkle.
No.
Yes.
No.
I win today. Yes, I do.
Oh my God.
No, but Darby.
Wait, was that no? Wait, that wasn't Lee Marvin. Who was in like Flint?
In like Flint.
In like
Lee
Flint.
Marvin.
Yeah, it was Lee Marvin.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I love those movies.
Oh,
I love those movies.
Look at the old timers getting along together.
Yeah,
That's
that movie
so
came
cute.
out about 15 years before I was born.
Calm down. Okay, so hindsighters, we're gonna go Elf to Seinfeld really fast.
2.
Well, you rated it the same as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So, F you, Jason. All right. We'll let Darby go second. Darby, Elf to Seinfeld, hit it.
Alf to Seinfeld. Well, I grew up on Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was a huge hero of mine. He actually is the top reason I decided to ever do theater. Jim Carrey is the reason I ever decided to even give a try to acting. He was my favorite comedian as a child. I watched all of his movies. It was the only thing I rented from Blockbuster. Watching Ace Ventura as an adult, you pick up on a lot more wonderful, beautiful details about the movie that you didn't when you were 6 years old.
True story.
So I think it really only gets better as time goes on. I gotta say that it leans more towards the Seinfeld end of the scale. So I'm gonna give it a solid 10.
Whoa!
Whoa.
That's really high on the scale. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
That is the
impressive.
first.
No,
I
it's
think,
not the first.
It's not the first 10?
It's a rare one, but
Yeah.
it's not the first one. No.
I think it's a perfect movie. It's one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Okay. Awesome. Mr. Brown.
So that means that Darby liked it a heck of a lot more now than he did when he was a kid. That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what that
Because
means.
here is my own personal copy
Nice.
of Ace Ventura.
Wow.
This is called the DVD.
Is that a
It's very
video
popular
video
when I was,
disc?
Or is it venereal disease? What?
And no, with that, I enjoyed Ace Ventura when I first saw it. I enjoyed it when I watched it again. I'm going to give it a solid 5. It's been a solid, wonderful film for as long as I've been alive, and that's an awful long time. So I'm sticking with 5.
So
That means a lot.
17, and what is your score?
I have to go a little higher, just like young Adam over there in the corner, because, like I said, there's so many jokes that went really easily and really well over your head if you were young enough. Like, I had no idea that there was such a thing as changing your gender when I was 6 years old. I didn't really even understand the basic plot. I knew that Ace, he recovered the dolphin. Yay! That's what I knew. And he was just silly and slapsticky while he did it. So I just enjoyed the movie for what it was when I was 6 years old, but I love it so much more. So honestly, I've got to give it a solid 7.5 because it got funnier and I understood way more jokes than I even expected.
Now that's not fair. Wait, 17 plus 7.5. Carry the 7, 20.
Math is hard.
2011. No. 27.
7.2 millimeters. What are you doing right now?
I'm trying to do because this is the Alpha Seinfeld scale is very serious.
So
It's
get a
20,
calculator.
27 and a half to quarter.
Let's
divided
watch
by
him.
5. It's 6. I think.
You just
It's 42.
It's 42, the answer to life and everything else. Yes.
That's right.
Thank
Did
God for
anyone
people who
but
read books.
did anyone other you got it? Okay, okay.
I
all
said
right.
thank God for people who
Okay.
read books.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was an absolute train wreck of an episode. Hindsighters,
You're welcome.
We're sorry.
Should I do the sensitive bit? No, I won't.
Don't
I did it once.
do
so
it
that-
ever again. So,
I drank a whole 6-pack.
oh God, did you really?
Oh yeah.
Of sarsaparilla?
Sir, can I see your ID?
Was sarsaparilla popular back in your day, Mr. Brown?
That's what I bought in the theater when I saw Robin Hood.
And we liked it.
Along with sidecars. When we were hearing about the exciting days of radio. So, yeah.
Movie Town News presents.
God. So, guys, thank us for
Thank you
ruining
for
your
inviting
lives.
Thank us, you bastards.
Ruining your lives, yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We have to thank the Adams for showing up in the first place, and especially in costume. My God, all 3 of us dressed up except
know.
for you.
I know.
Not 2 figs.
Well, my underwear is tropical print.
I
so-
thought you were wearing your
yeah.
Kelly LeBrock underwear again.
No, that's for sunny days.
When it's above 70 degrees outside. Anyway,
The maiden form woman, you'll never know where she'll show up.
oh, sweet Jesus. Let me get us the hell out of here. Hard left. So, Mr. Darby, I guess we blame you for picking this film. I appreciated it. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for joining us. And Mr. Brown, thank you also for tuning in. We always appreciate you
I
showing
loved it.
up. As,
Thank you for
having
having
me.
me as always.
he's going to go lay down on his cot in the corner now because we just can't get
Yeah.
rid of him.
And for those of you who enjoyed the appearance of my friend Eric last week when we talked about Tremors, he's going to be coming back. On the next episode, we're going to be talking about the John Carpenter classic,
Which Darth hasn't seen.
iconic They Live.
I'm so worried.
Oh,
so worried.
fantastic film. I love that movie.
I'm so worried.
The best movie in the history of cinema to star Roddy Piper. And I really do think that that's a fair statement to make. I
Don't know anything about this, so
prove me wrong.
I can't wait to be emotionally scarred by this next choice. So.
It's awesome. It's such a good
It has one of the top 5 greatest movie quotes of all time.
Yes.
I can't
It
wait
really
to hear
does.
it. Don't spoil it for
really
me because I
does,
literally know
yeah.
nothing about
Yeah.
this movie. So.
And there's a whole episode of South Park that you can't get until you see this movie.
I believe that.
Yeah.
It's Inception level entertainment. So, Hindsighters, thank you for braving this episode. For those of you who did it without, hurling. So, thanks for joining us. We always appreciate you tuning in. Find us on the social mediums. We always say we're going to keep cranking out episodes even during the COVID quarantine awesomeness that we've got going on right now.
Yeah, but we're in Georgia, so screw everybody else because we get to go outside.
Well, I'll be very honest. I've interacted with you, and that's it outside of my house.
Oh, I'm totally going to a restaurant this weekend.
Oh, God. Well, anyway, so you do that and let us know how it goes once you hit the hospital room. So thank you for joining us for your drive time, your listening time, your quarantine. We super appreciate it. Please hang in with us. We're going to keep cranking out episodes just at a little bit of a slower rate. We do apologize because we've got to find time for our Zoom guests to hang in and coordinate even more people for you guys each and every week, even though it just seems like we hang out with guys named Adam. So, guys named Adam, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Mwah.
This
Bye.
has
I love
been
you all.
Hindsight, and good night.